What is up, guys? It is the Sound Alchemist, and today I'm back to talk to you about Warhammer 40K. So recently we were doing our For the Greater War Q&A, and somebody asked us which one of the actual Geneseed augmentations slash implants would you want to have in real life. And this got me thinking, because there's a lot of crazy over-the-top things that Space Marines undergo to actually become Space Marines. And I wanted to go more in depth, because as awesome as Space Marines are, they have like this organ that makes them spit acid. And like you're never going to see that on the tabletop. Why spit acid when you could run a chain sword and cleave a man in half? So anyway, let's go through the Geneseed organs, augmentations, and implants one by one to see what actually would be good to have in real life. So before we start, I just have to say that this video will probably be split into at least 2, maybe 3 videos, because there's so many implantations. For example, you can have Primaris specific implants, Space Marines generic implants, and there's even some that are specific to certain chapters, such as like the stuff that the Canis Helix does for the Space Wolves, Blood Angels, and then you have Geneseed flaws, which in 40k may be viewed as flaws, but might be good in the real world. So for now, I'm just going to go through the generic augmentations for a Space Marine, and there's a lot, so I will be skipping around. If you do want to see the full list, let me know in the comments, or just crack open your Space Marine Codex. There's a little bit of lore about that in there. So let's begin. So let us begin with the Black Carapace. So the Black Carapace is essentially an interface that allows the neophyte to integrate neurologically to its power armor. So I guess this would only be something that would actually be beneficial if you actually had power armor in this day and age, which, as we all know, doesn't exist yet. However, if you're able to have power armor, this is a must, because even though it's not necessary to wield the Black Carapace, or you don't wield it, you integrate it underneath your skin, and that allows you to connect to your power armor, essentially linking you directly to the machine spirit, or the AI of your power armor. But there's been instances, for example, with the Sisters of Battle and some actual Inquisitors that don't have the Black Carapace, but of course they still wear that power armor. So it's not necessary, but it does give you a huge boost, especially if you believe into the machine spirit. So I don't really see this as a must-have, unless, well, not even unless, because even if you do have power armor in this time and age, you're not really gonna, it's not a must, you don't need it, but it does help out. Now, the one that I did talk about was the Becher's gland, also known as the poison bite. So this is what allows a Space Marine to actually spit out acidic poisonous saliva. Now, depending on what they're trying to do, these 2 glands that are located in the mouth will allow your saliva to be so corrosive you can literally kill some creatures, or depending on what you're eating, it can help break down. For example, say for some reason you're eating bones and need to get down to the bone marrow, then your saliva would dissolve the bone, leaving the marrow for you to digest. Again, it's pretty cool, but there's better ones in here that I'd rather have, so let's continue on. The Neuroglottis, aka the Devourer, is a pretty awesome implant that is used into the nasal passages and basically allows a Space Marine to smell really faint traces of things, which would be really great for tracking. But at the same time, if he tastes a certain substance, he can figure out if this substance is poisonous or if it's safe to eat. So if you're doing any type of like hunting, tracking, that kind of thing, this would be super useful. You wouldn't need a canine or a bloodhound to like smell or track anything like that. You could do it yourself. The melanochrome, aka the skin shield, is a type of implant that allows your skin to better protect itself from like harmful radiation, sun exposure, that kind of thing. So if you're somebody that loves being outside all the time and you're scared of getting skin cancer, this would be the one for you. But I don't really see it being that great. I'd rather spit on somebody and dissolve them than basically allow myself to be protected from the sun. However, the cool thing about this is that this you can see in the Blood Angels as well as the Salamanders. So obviously salamanders hail from Nocturne, where there's freaking fire and lava and all these harmful chemicals in the air. That's why their skin looks black and their eyes are red, because it's their skin shield protecting them from the harmful chemicals and radiation in the air, allowing them to better survive their environment. Same thing with the Blood Angels. They look more vampiric and pale because of their home world. The Eye of Vengeance, aka the Oculobe, is an implant that allows a Space Marine to see in low-level light, as well as to see farther, and really great, both in bright light and in darkness. Again, if you're into like tracking or hunting, this would be really good for you, especially if you can combine this with the other implant that allows you to smell and taste things. You're basically going to be the ultimate hunter-predator. However, I need glasses, so this would be a very awesome implant to have where I wouldn't even need glasses. Matter of fact, my eyes would be shining bright like a diamond because of this. And the name Eye of Vengeance sounds pretty cool. However, I'm going to have to skip out on this for an even better implant. Now, if you remember back to the For the Greater Wa episode where we did that quick answer to this question, we talked about the Remembrancer, aka the homophagia, which is the organ that is basically connecting your stomach to your spinal cord, and it allows you to retain the memories of whatever sentient creature you ate. It involves taking their DNA and RNA and basically using that to determine what happened during the final moments of that creature's life, and you basically get to have their memories, which is really cool. I mean, just think about being able to eat. Oh, never mind. I was gonna say, what if you had to eat, some chicken and remember its last moments? But seeing as how everything we eat usually goes through like a slaughterhouse, I think I'd rather pass. This would be the augmentation to make people go vegan. So yeah, I'll take a pass on the Remembrancer. But again, it'd be pretty cool to like gain memories from other things. It's like, girl, were you cheating? Let me take a bite of you. But anyway, let's move on. This next augmentation, the Lariman Sales, aka the Healer, is number 2 on my list, because this is some pretty badass stuff. So the reason why Space Marines are often so hard to kill is because of this organ. This organ basically allows the wound to clot and scar up much quicker than normal, basically allowing you to not be able to bleed out. I mean, yes, you still have the damage and whatnot, but at least you're not bleeding all over the place. And if you're a Space Marine, it keeps you in the battle. Say you just got shot in the neck, and normally you'd bleed out because of your arteries and whatnot, but with your organ here, it allows you to keep on fighting. Really great, especially if you're a soldier, or even in any type of scenario. You get into like a car accident, you cut yourself, you might get like a drop of blood before your body automatically sends this organ into function, cutting off blood loss and having that cut or any type of puncture wound heal up much quicker. And finally, we come to the last organ or implantation, and that is the one that I would choose to have right here and now in this day and age. And that is the Osmodula, aka the Iron Heart. This is a very important upgrade for a neophyte to become a Space Marine. Basically, it goes into the pituitary gland, becoming a part of the Space Marine's endocrine system. It allows it to basically send out growth hormones, making the person grow up to 7 to 7.5 Terran feet tall. So you're going to be a giant, pretty much. Not just that, but you begin to have superhuman strength, as well as your muscles and your skeletons just becomes fused with more of itself, just gaining more mass. And your freaking rib cage becomes interlaced with more bone plates, allowing it to become a solid mass of bulletproof bones. So you can take more punishment, give more punishment, and at the same time, you're a freaking giant. Just think about that. I'm not too keen about being 7 foot tall, but you're super huge, super strong. You're basically Captain America, just taller. I think that'd be pretty badass to have that. However, you could die. Because say something happens internally and like the doctors have to go inside and cut you up, your skin's tougher, your bones are denser, there's almost no way they're going to be able to cut through your super alloy rib cage to get to your organs inside. So it's a give and take, but it's still a really cool upgrade. For anybody trying to be a superhero, this is probably as close as you can get, with your superhuman strength and speed, agility, and whatnot. So I've only went through a few of these here. There's a total of 19 generic upgrades, so let me know which ones you would pick down in the comments below. And sit tight, because tomorrow I will be going through the Primaris upgrades, and those are even crazier than just these standard neophyte to Space Marine upgrades. So again guys, let me know your favorite, your least favorite, and when do you think these will finally go from being science fiction to science fact. And as always, I am the Sound Alchemist, part of One Mind Syndicate, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow.